Welcome everybody. We're getting into game number 1, brand new best of 3. I still have the MCAN man himself joining me here on the cast. And why don't you kick off these intros, dude?
All right, in the bottom right, we got the man who just took down Game Time. Can he take down Korea as well? It is Hellraiser. Looking to take down Solar himself. This would be a pretty big win for him. Maybe a confidence booster. And, yeah, exciting.
Well, said opponent in the top left, the yellow Zerg coming from Korea, representing Splice. It's Solar.
Yeah.
It was really cool to watch him just beat Game Time, obviously. Like, kudos to Hellraiser. But Solar is like a whole nother beast, dude. Like, you took the warp pipe and you skipped to the end of the game, and now you're fighting like the toughest boss next to like maybe Snoot in this tournament.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, once again, different styles, right? Game Time's got that mid-game aggression that he likes to hit, and Hellraiser was able to hold it. So we'll see if Solar goes for something more the same, something different. We got Catalyst again. It seems like a lot of players choose this map. Seems to be a pretty liked map, I would say. I mean, you see a lot of games here, so yeah, we'll see if anyone's got anything special. This is where
I'd love to actually pick your brain, since you are more of a player than myself, obviously.
Not after today.
Not after today, Caster. Yeah. A lot of time we see the new map rollovers, right? Everyone picks the old maps as a priority, not because they're better, but they're more used to them. But these have been out now for a couple weeks. So what is your assessment of the current ladder right now? Are the new maps good, or is it still better to stick with the old ones?
As a player, I think it's just whatever you feel most comfortable on. I think most players have had enough time to figure out if they got a feel, if they like a map, if they dislike a map. Personally, I mean, I still have all the maps not vetoed. Some of the maps give you some crazy games, like a Biogenesis, the really, really short map. There are some cool maps out there. It's a different map pool. I'm pretty indifferent on it. Honestly, I think it's okay. There's some big maps out there. I don't know. I think the maps are all right, and I think it just comes down to what other players feel most comfortable with here. And apparently, they like this map.
Yeah, I'm really liking seeing a Biogenesis in play. Some pretty good games. That one seems to be a little more common, but again, my sample size is a little bit more limited to obviously a couple of tournaments rather than hundreds of ladder games. So I don't know what the general consensus is.
We see the Scarlet in here. Lings coming in.
Overlord drop. Ooh, double Overlord drops. Ooh.
It's really bad for Hellraiser.
But there's no wall, so it doesn't matter. Oh, no.
The Adept is now shaded into the natural. Okay, pull. I mean, he's up 9 workers. So Hellraiser can lose 9 workers and still be okay. Link speed about to finish 10 seconds.
Yeah, but no wall. No bloody wall. It's not even like, hey, you don't have a full wall off. He's missing the second gateway. This is so bad.
This is gonna be game. The Oracle is coming out. He's still.
Hang on. Before guys, this is why you put the Stargate in the wall. Like 9 times out of 10.
Okay, here we go. Hey, as a Protoss, that's just painful right there. I feel my heart goes out for Hellraiser. All right, my heart goes out for Hellraiser there. The thing is, if you put the Stargate in the wall, then they can see what you're making, and then it's like, I don't know.
You know what? I think you have a better chance of being in the game longer, being scouted, than dead.
Maybe, but then you got to think how many out of 10, how many games are they link flooding? 1, 2, maybe 3. So then in the other 7, 8, 9 games, do you really want them to always see what's coming out of your Stargate? They're going just a Phoenix, 2 Oracles, 1 Oracle, just an Oracle.
Hey man, I'm with you on like the thought process behind it, but I'm just saying practicality of what we just witnessed, not the case.
My Protoss heart goes out whenever Protoss falls to a link flood. That's when I shed a little bit of a tear. That keeps me up at night. Those link floods.
Can we get some Fs in chat? Pay respect not just to Hellraiser, but to SOS and all Protoss kind out there.
Yeah.
By the way, this is like the one time ever you're gonna hear my bias disappear temporarily and like be sympathetic for Protoss.
I just figured the world needed more Protoss casters, Roddy Todd, in control. We need more Protoss bias, in my opinion. That's my real reason I'm here tonight, to combat the Protoss haters out there.
I love that for you this is considered tonight when it's 10:43 a.m. for me
today.
All right, guys. We're gonna hop into the unbalanced score. It's we'll see you in a few seconds. Ooh, guys, we're back. But while this first game went underway, rather quickly at that, we have some interesting bracket updates. So, obviously, we're casting Hellraiser vs. Solar here, Creator versus MaNa right below it. So these two, the winner of those two series, will fight each other in the semifinals. But bottom side, we get Snoop versus Jig in the ZVZ. Jig, who I thought was retiring, but it's kind of cool to see him out and playing. And then Bly versus Soul.
Wow, all those matchups are good.
Yeah, I'm actually... If you weren't here, dude, I would have jumped on Bly's Soul, to be honest.
It's true. Yeah, that would have been good.
Let's hop into game 2. He's up 1 at the moment. We'll see if he brings out some more dirty cheese. In the top left, we got Splice's Solar.
In the bottom right, trying to deflect the Zerg cheese one day at a time, refusing to put the Stargate in the wall like a true man, as he should. It is Hellraiser.
Yeah, just backing up on that again, I really do agree with the concept of, like you see everyone. You see Hero, you see the best players hide their Stargate. It's not that he was bad or anything because he didn't, like, it's just that game didn't work out for him, and hopefully it doesn't happen again.
I agree with you. It can have some merit to putting the Stargate in the wall, and it can be okay. I don't completely disagree either. I mean, the amount of times Protoss lose to Link Flood is a lot. There's no doubt about it. It can be hard. Some of these maps, it actually is very hard to hold Link Flood. I don't know. Catalyst is on borderline, but there is Eastwatch is the hardest map to hold the Link Flood on. So we have to see that later.
Though, format for those unfamiliar is loser's pick. So this was Hellraiser's map choice. So if you wanted a comfortable map to play on, he picks one that's got a pocket third. Granted, it's kind of a half base, but still, he could play this out a little bit better, ideally to his own standards, because he got to pick the map.
Yeah, it's true. See if he's got anything in store. It'd be interesting to see if these players decide to go for, like, the back base at all or early or what. Sometimes I actually usually put the Stargate on the wall at this map, so we'll see if Hellraiser, what he decides to do, but it looks like just Stargate in his main because he's got no Probitus Natural. And it is. Stargate every game. I like his probe harass. He's been being annoying at this third base. I mean, Solar can't make a hatchery yet, but he was trying to be annoying. I appreciate it.
There's actually an interesting question in chat. Love to get your thought process on.
Okay. Run it by me.
If they went... So, who is this who said? Lone Wolf said, MCanny, BaseTradeTV, if they cannon rushed, they wouldn't have this problem. Your thoughts?
Look, if maybe 100% of Protoss players should only cannon rush. What do you think? That really evolved the meta.
Well, it's interesting because... we can make the statements that 100% of the Protoss players should cannon rush, but then you have some Protoss players who cannon rush 100% of the time. She's a sorry, something in my throat.
There's actually a decent amount of cannon rushers out there that cannon rush all the time.
Yeah, I'd say she's because he streams, so people know about him more than anyone else, obviously.
The king of the scene switch. Wiedemann's still around a little bit. He's come back. There's that Ninja on NA. There's some guys on Europe, I think, that cannon rush quite a bit, at least in PvP. So it's still pretty common.
I'm always blown away by that too, because some of these guys they even get as high as Grandmaster, and you're like, I can't believe this this gimmick works to that extent.
Yeah, it's tough. It's cannon rush, man. It's hard PvP.
You know, though, it's actually back in the day, Wiedemann's watching him cannon rush on stream was actually what helped me deal with my losses and my ladder anxiety to an extent, because I got to witness the law of averages. Like, cannon rush does not work 100% of the time, but the more you win, you still go up in rank, even if you lose 7 games in the process. And I was always blown away by that.
Hey, Galsy was really famous back in the day. I don't know if you remember him. He was like one of the OG cannon rushers. And he was really pretty popular back in the day.
Yeah, Galsy was a big streamer too, back when StarCraft was in its prime.
For sure. So we do see the back base here. Also interesting to note, just going to say this, is Hellraiser, I don't think, went out on the map with his first Adept, so maybe a little scared of that last game. Who knows? A little bit of Link Flood trauma, possibly, floating into his brain. I like this. He scouts the Overlord with his Oracle, and now he uses his Phoenix to come and take it down. I like to do this in my games as well. I like this play.
I'm going to make sure I pronounce this correctly for my American friend here, but I like to think of it as PTZD. Post-traumatic zergling disorder.
Oh god. Hey, it used to be mutas for me. I used to have muta P. I guess it'd be PTMD. Is what I used to have. But yeah, Link Floods, man, they're good. Link Floods are good.
There's I don't know how many times you've hit him or not, but Penguin for me is always the most disgusting muta player when it comes to it, because he does like builds that lead into intentional base trades all the time. Mutas are his jam for that.
Yeah, and you know who used to be the queen of mutas, I should say, was Libby B. When back in HOTS, when she used to play a lot, she would beat me with mutas. You know what happened? I swear to you, I would be like, okay, I know she likes going mutas, but I'm gonna be honorable. I'm not gonna metagame her muta play, and then I wouldn't scout her Spire, and then all of a sudden 50 mutas would show up in my base, and I would just lose, and I'd be like, I don't know how she does it. I don't know how she does it.
Fuck the honor system, dude.
Dude, she used to always go mass muta, and I would always be like, she won't do it again. And then she would do it again, and I'd be like, God, I'm not ready.
That's one of those things where, like, okay, you lose once, you're a little salty. You lose twice because you played honorably. Third time, you're just opening the stream, and you're like, no, F this.
Unfollow on everything.
Don't actually do it, guys.
Nope. Some good poking from the Oracles here. They found 6 kills total. It can be hard to find damage with the Oracles these days, so it's yeah, not the worst damage.
Noteworthy too, of those 6 kills, one was a queen, so not even just a couple of drones, but both players advancing their tech. Lurkers obviously on the docket for Solar. They've been pretty good in general. I got to witness actually Scarlet knock Neeb out of the Pyeongchang qualifiers with Lurkers pre-patch, so I mean, the strength has been around for some time. But Hellraiser is going for Storms, he's going for Charge. He's got a very classic Protoss army setup.
His build is lining up quite well, taking his 4th base as well, quite on time. Of course, he's got the back 3rd, but this map, much like old Abyssal Reef, very strong for Lurkers. What can happen is the natural where he's got the...
I'm starting to see a trend with these, man.
Hey, he won when he lost his double Oracle last time, so maybe it's one of his winning strategies, throwing away that first Oracle.
It's a sign. It's like sacrificing a goat, dude, but he's sacrificing the Oracle. Yeah.
I'm telling you, though, what's going to happen eventually is these Lurkers are going to siege up where he's got a cannon and a shield battery here, so that's pretty good, but the double gate Saboteur, you can make a bunch of Lurkers on that ramp, and it can be really hard for Protoss to deal with, and you can just lose a ton. Also, one of the best maps for drops into the main. So I expect Solar to do some sort of drop into the main, or maybe some Lurker siege at the ramp. Something like that. It's a very good map for Zerg to do stuff, but we got a big push coming in here. Very common. Ooh, very scary army for Solar. Loses the Observer as well.
He's got this Templar on the front line. I'm really worried about this.
Nice first Storm, but now he's got no Observer. The Oracle does have Revelation. We'll be able to spot all the Lurkers. He misses 2, actually. He's going to have to make another Observer here soon. This is looking really scary for Hellraiser. Very good Lurkers. Yeah.
Even it's not enough Immortals. He does take out 3 of them, which is kind of okay, I guess. But the problem is he can't see the last 2.
It actually would have been okay if he maybe he didn't realize that those 2 were there and he thought he revealed them all. He thought he could take the fight.
I'm worried Source still might have had too much, though. The Roaches and Hydras were not dealt with through this. The Lurkers are obviously the focus of the engagements, but, I mean, it's the meat of the army that's really dangerous, and that's these Hydras, that's the Roaches. No more Storms available. The Immortals do start pushing in. The Archons still got a lot of hits, but they're about to go down. Never mind, 6 pickups out of Hellraiser. That Warp Prism, it's still not good enough.
Yeah, really nice try to hold. I don't think he will be able to hold now. He might on this Warp in with the Warp Prism, but there's just so many Roaches, and he does fall. Honestly, almost made the hold happen without his Observer there, and the Lurkers just shelling away forever. But something we are seeing very common is this Roach addition to the Zerg army, and it paid off well for Solar, and he takes game 1. Well played. Well played.
Game 2.
Game 2. Takes a series.
Kind of forgot how quick that first game was.
I did. It's really, these Roach plays really hard for Protoss, or can be hard, as they go Roach Hydra now because the Roaches soak up so many shots of the Zealots. It's actually like the new form of Banelings, is these Roaches. So it's been a new addition to the meta right now where Roach is very common. Roach Hydra Lurker, as we saw that game. And it's really strong. It's really strong, and we see Solar roll over Hellraiser here. But yeah, pretty good showing from Hellraiser. I mean, not probably what he wanted, but some good games versus Game Time. Was a good player. And, you know, got link flooded, not what he wanted. And, yeah.
We locked out real bad. They just had to restart game 2 of MaNa vs. Creator. I told him to invite you so I can hop in off you. And we're going to see if we can sneak in here real quick, guys. I got my stupid privacy settings on, though. So if you could just message MaNa and say invite.
They didn't start. I wonder who won game 1. I'm scared to ask.
MaNa. MaNa is up 1-0. That's
now I got it. He said he invited me twice already.
So MaNa being up 1-0 versus Creator isn't like the craziest thing in the world, guys.
I'm in, by the way.
But what's interesting... Yeah, I'm joining you. What's interesting is that he's done this with this cross-server disparity.
Yeah.
But,
well, I wonder where they're hosting. Because
we'll find out once we get in game.
Yeah, it's true.
But it's Blackpink, and we'll see you guys in just a sec. All right, folks, welcome back. So we lucked out, as I said, getting to hop into game number 2 here. It's a bonus match, if you will. No commercial breaks, all that good stuff. But it's an interesting one we've joined in because it is, of course, Europe versus Korea. So they are playing on the central server, which is not an okay ping for both, but more like it's a terrible ping for both, so they're equally disadvantaged is the logic going into it.
Yeah.
But
I think it's about the same for both of them, I would say. Both pretty bad. They're both at like 150, 200, I'd say.
I want to say Creator's probably had a little more experience dealing with it than MaNa, since it's a lot easier to play to NA for one of these guys. But regardless, it is game 2. We did not cast game 1, just so it's on the record. People watching the VOD, they're like, "Where's the first match?" Because Spawn here in the bottom left, he's up 1-0, winning the series. Currently, it's Liquid MaNa.
Woo! And in the top right, looking to make a best of 3 out of this series, looking for that second game, looking for revenge. See blood in his eyes. Creator. Interesting. I think MaNa is also streaming right now. Don't correct me if I'm wrong. So if you guys want to check him out, check out that double action, putting in that first person view.
Yeah, Penguin was streaming his games too. I don't know if he's already out, so never mind. Feel bad about that, but. I always love trying to pump that out. I just should stress, if you guys go watch MaNa stream, by all means, please do and please enjoy it. But MaNa is likely not using a stream delay like we are. So my one request is you don't bring spoilers back to the channel. Spoilers, totally bannable offense. We'll shut that shit down. It's unacceptable. So while we totally encourage you to go enjoy it and have both streams and enjoy them, just don't be dicks about it.
True. True that.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Dares has also just pointed out one of the most important details that almost never ever happens, that has truly made this tournament a unique event, and that's that there's no Team Liquid team kill until the finals. Every time we do this, doesn't matter whether you got Thermal, Team Liquid's TLO, Snoot, and MaNa, they all end up fighting each other before the finals and killing each other before the finals. But the way this is seeded, if MaNa proceeds, it'll be MaNa versus Solar, and Snoot, by the way, did win his series, so he's in the semifinals waiting for the winner of Bly versus Soul. So realistically, we don't have all Zerg, but we almost have all Zerg.
Yeah, that's something. Feeding that Team Liquid bank right here could be, if we get the finals, that'd be cool. Team Liquid versus Team Liquid.
Well, what's interesting, what I've always loved, and there's a history, sorry, let's talk about the builds here in a sec, but there's a rich history dynamic here where MaNa and Snoot play each other fairly often enough that it's no longer PvZ. It is MaNa versus Snoot. They know each other's gameplay inside of. Snoot actually went with us on interview this one time talking about that, how it really is like they're supposed to help each other pick up their slack, so they know their weaknesses, they know how to drill into them and all this other stuff. So I fingers crossed. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. I would love for that to be the finals. Yeah,
I will say this is looking pretty good for Creator. So right now PvP is an absolute wild horse where a lot of different builds can happen, and we saw the difference was MaNa went Stalker, Creator went Stalker Sentry, and that early Sentry is really common right now, and it allows you to get this early Scout in. And we see the early Scout, the early Phoenix coming out, or the early Hallucinated Phoenix. You will be able to scout MaNa's Stargate well before MaNa will be able to scout his opponent's Stargate, and it is Oracle.
Teapot, short and Scout.
So he sees the Oracle. Creator also has an Oracle getting tons of damage at the natural, and he's making Phoenix at home. This is looking really, really good for Creator.
7 probes already. 8, 9, maybe 10, maybe 11. 12, 13. MaNa! The humanity! He has to do some damage now. He's down almost 10 workers to his opponent.
So he's going to be going for a big attack, it looks like, at the front with all these Stalkers trying to get damage, maybe lifting up the army. I guess he's on double Oracle. Yeah, I could foresee this just being a quick GG from MaNa once he sees what's happened. But the double Oracle is flying in, getting damage like they always do. Ooh. Why they're so strong. But now the Phoenix come in, clean up both Oracles. Creator still up 4 workers, which is not bad on its own. But now he is coming out, challenging, lifting up all the Stalkers.
The crowd control's too good. That's the tap out. GG. Creator ties up the series 1-1.
PvP. Unbelievable. The matchup. It's too hard. They made it too hard. I'm going to go on record. Bring the Mothership Core back. Bring it back. We need it.
I have no strong opinions.
Not a popular opinion to bring the Mothership Core back. I don't think the community would be with that, but it would save PvP, and that's all people really want to see. So think about it. Think about it. That's PvP, man. PvP is crazy wild. I swear. There's so many build orders that beat each build order, and no build is the strongest build, so it's just so much volatility where anything can happen. Oh, it gives me nightmares. Gives me nightmares. I mean, I almost couldn't get to sleep last night thinking about PvP. I said, I know I gotta wake up, I gotta go to sleep, I gotta cast in the morning, but then I just kept thinking about PvP by accident. I couldn't sleep.
I have this idea of you in my head where like someone's got a gun to your head, there's a ninja assassin hovering over you with a knife, and you're just like, just do it, because then I don't have to deal with PvP anymore.
That's true. Yeah, not too far off. 3 minutes toilet. Okay, if you want to run that.
Yeah, we're gonna play commercial break because Creator just took a quick BRB, so we'll see you guys here in 2 minutes. Hey guys, we're back, but we're just gonna hop directly into the load screen because as you can see, the game's already underway. So things are tied up 1-1. Our first ace match of the day, and it's on the brand new map Acid Plant. Which has this been fixed finally? Yeah, they took the pipes out. Cool. All right, spawning here at the top left side, we got Team Liquid's Red Protoss, MaNa.
In the bottom right, looking to win the very extensive game of rock, paper, scissors that is PvP. Will he choose the right one? It is Creator. Now, what pipes are we talking about here exactly?
Oh, so this was experienced, even though so much feedback was given ahead of time. Was it Leipzig, I think it was, we saw issues with the Liberator spacing because at the top middle base, yeah, there's a pipe back here you couldn't actually walk through, and it became a big problem trying to walk around it for Liberators. And the worst part about it wasn't that it was here, it was unsymmetrical, so you only got screwed if you were on the top side of the map, whereas it wasn't on the bottom.
So, yeah, I saw people complaining about that, but I actually didn't know what map it was on.
Well, luckily you didn't have to experience it by the sounds of things either.
That's true.
It was a little frustrating though, because I know that we had given the feedback. I know that several casts had covered this. Players had done Reddit threads, like, and it still went into a dub. Like, granted, it only barely even affected one game out of all of them, I'm sure. But still, it was like this shouldn't have been an issue at all with all the feedback they were given.
Yeah.
But anyways, going back to the point you made about rock, paper, scissors, it's funny because I feel I really apply that to the openings, right? Sometimes you'll see double adept, sometimes you'll see the double stalkers, sometimes it's stalker versus stalker. But after that, I think at the higher level for PvP, it does start falling off. Like, sure, one of you might be the faster one to immortal, but if your scouting's on point, you'll know and you can adjust and you can react. I feel it's most rock, paper, scissors-y in the early game. I don't know.
Okay, I would respectfully disagree. I think the openers, you can do a lot of different openers, and they get you about the same place, whether you open double adept, whether you open double stalker, whether you open stalker sentry, which we see both players opening. So a quick rundown, I'll tell you, is what my opinion on PvP is why it's so rock, paper, scissors-y, is because 2 reasons, basically. Is one, there is no one singular build that is great against the majority of builds. So you don't have a standard opener that can be used consistently to give, you know, standard results. I like the sneaky probe here from Creator. Yeah, this is nice. And I was oohing at the pylon block, but yeah, sneaky probe is pretty nice too. Yeah. He's going into the main. He's going to be able to scout. Nothing's here yet.
That Stalker realized a little too late, so that's kind of annoying for MaNa, but he's just taking a Nexus right now, so it's not the worst thing in the world.
Well, okay, see, this is interesting. This is good for MaNa, though, because... Well, actually, this is bad for MaNa. I had the colors mixed up. So MaNa created 2 units because he couldn't put any buildings down because there's a probe in his base, and then he canceled 2 units. Now he's remade his double Stalker. So, interesting spot. Now we see both... So, PvP is like Stargate, Phoenix beats Oracle, Oracle/double Oracle beats basically every ground build, whether it's Robo First or Blink. Double Oracle is like basically the king, but Oracle is so good that Phoenix is really common. So you just have a ton of builds that beat each other. Robo's good versus Twilight, Twilight's good versus Phoenix. So many different builds are good versus each other. I do think Phoenix is your most reliable opener, but it's bad versus some things. So there's just so many different builds that are good versus each other. And if this is double Oracle coming out from Creator, which it is, and we see both of them scouting, the Phoenix's Hallucinated Phoenix coming out just for that scout. That's why Sentry is really common right now. But the thing is, again, with those openers, you can open double Adept, you can open double Stalker, you can open Stalker Sentry, and all of them can lead you to Stargate. So in the past, it used to be okay if you open double Adept, it's probably going to be Stargate because you haven't used gas. But now in today's game, it's like, okay, you know, you've opened Stalker Sentry, but yeah, you're still going Stargate. So it's chaotic. So we do see the Twilight Council coming in from Creator to follow up. Interesting. Yeah.
Actually, there's a point you made earlier I want to go back and that I love, by the way, because you said there's no one build in Protoss versus Protoss is like the ultimate go-to. And I love that for a while, though, it did feel like they were trying to make, like Korea especially, more than the other regions, Charge.Lot Archon was like the go-to. That was the, hey, if we go this build, we'll be okay. But with all these patch changes and tweaks, and for a small time we saw Stalkers basically be mini Immortals, things got shook up. So I don't actually even know where the meta for this matchup is right now. Okay. And I am really curious to see how things play out.
Yeah, for sure. I will say it's still quite a bit of Charge.Lot Archon, but Disruptors. Wow, one Oracle falling. Really good defense here from MaNa. As I talked about double Oracle being so good, he makes double Oracle look horrible.
Yeah,
nice
worker
defense.
Kills, almost non-existent. Quick pick off, do big deflection. I mean, he was forced to use a Revelation because it was a use it before you lose it situation.
Right, yeah, well done. Now this is the issue with double Oracle. We see tons of vision here from Creator. We see a fast third, and we see a ton of Stalkers in the composition for MaNa. And you have to do this, of course, because Oracles are going to tear you apart if you don't have Stalkers. I like this shade from Creator, though, as well, delaying it and then coming in late, looking for probe kills. Finds 1, finds 2. All right, getting some scouting done, seeing the timing, but also no third for MaNa just yet.
I love that those 2 Adepts just did more damage than 2 Oracles.
MaNa's counter Adepts in the natural. 1.
They were weakened up pretty badly before they get in here. That second shot's really important.
Oh, he couldn't get to the shield battery. He blocked himself out. This is really good for MaNa. Getting some kills here. Let he get 3 or 4 kills. Now the Orc comes back up.
He is down in Nexus right now. He is slower to that draw in the third. So while he's up a couple of workers now, Creator should be able to make up for that with his Nexus, which is already done.
Right. But it's hard to know, you know, can Creator probe it up? And he is 3 probes at a time. He's got Blink. This is the issue, can be the issue when you open, when you're on double Oracle, you force out so many Stalkers. Going Charge.Lot Archon is really strong. But right now in the meta, Charge.Lot Archon is still very good. Disruptors making quite a bit of play in the high-level PvP right now. You just can mass them up, and you literally cannot counterplay anymore because you can't blink on top of them. You can't use charge lots because you just shoot out all your disruptor shots, and the entire army dies. There's basically very little counterplay until you get to Phoenix. Even with a spread out army, disruptors can be very hard to deal with when the numbers are right. So disruptors in PvP are very strong.
That is one of the things I love about PvP, and I think I give respect to the better players for when it does come down to things like Phoenix control, doing crowd control. Do you pick up the right units? Do you pick them up at the right time? You cancel that disruptor shot, or do you pick up the Immortal and hope that you can dodge the disruptor shot? There's a lot of questions, obviously, that go through the heat of battle, but we'll see if that comes into play or not. Right now, though, Probe's being chased off the third base. MaNa picking off quite a few. Gonna get a pylon and should be able to blink out of there.
They both have blink, though. And there's more numbers here for Creator if he realizes it.
Recall? No?
He's gonna lose too many Stalkers for recalls, I think.
Really good Stalkers no matter what.
Yeah. Interesting. Now, I actually, from what I remember from Creator, it's been a while since I've seen him play. I know he used to love, I would almost say, more Wings of Liberty-esque type styles where he goes for these huge Stalker numbers.
Oh no, he stopped.
That was really good for Creator. But you know, still all in all pretty similar. Both going charge, +2, much faster for MaNa, which is a huge deal. That +2 is a big upgrade in PvP. Do we see any sentries? There's a sentry for MaNa. Couple sentries. Guardian Shield's a big deal as well.
Stasis Trap was a cool move. I like that. No, you wouldn't get a lot of damage done. So catches even a couple of stalkers, which are now missing from the army. But with enough immortals.
Yeah. He picks off a few probes with the stalkers as well. Nice play. Nice play. Creator finding some damage here, but again, you know, this is a weird style for me. I mean, you don't really see this many stalkers being made, honestly, for Creator, even though MaNa was on Blink. Oracle finding some damage. Some damage is the key word.
The Oracles are pretty much the least efficient at killing workers this game, but still 18 kills in total. Not bad.
He's up 11 workers right now, which is a big deal in PvP. Getting these upgrades, I'm expecting MaNa to attack on a +2 timing, and he is.
Oh,
I like this a lot. And the army comps are similar, but +2 will be done. More stalkers for Creator, which means his army's weaker. I think this is looking pretty good, but 2 shield batter. Oh, Kitty Cannon's coming up. Okay.
It's more stalkers, but it's more immortals for MaNa. Coming at 4-2.
Yep. That's good for MaNa. The immortals are a huge deal to kill the Archons, but you know, got the high ground. He's got a good spot to engage. He's up 14 workers. There are no probes on production. This is a huge attack. This is basically all in for MaNa. Will he be able to break Creator here, or will we see Creator? I would say in an upset, I think MaNa is actually stronger than him right now, in my opinion.
A wise man once said, "I have the high ground, Anakin. It's over."
Snipes the Warp Prism, a huge pick off. Kind of a surround here. He has the numbers. He can still almost do it. +2 is the advantage. He's got the upgrade advantage. Falling back into the shield batteries and the cannons, though, while up so many workers. Incredibly good Creator.
If MaNa had Warpins coming in right now, I think he could keep that push up. But that Warp Prism going down was huge. And these Zealots, as we see, have to walk across the whole map.
Yep. And we see MaNa restarting into pro production here. Kind of saying, well, I don't think I can do this. Kind of almost giving up the attack. And Creator up so many workers. Looking really good for him. +2 finishing up. The upgrades will be even. He's got good vision. Warp Prism following up. Looks like MaNa's going for another attack. Maybe he can catch Creator out of position. Let's see what the numbers are like. So we see, one more Immortal. Archons are same. One more Sentry. A lot more Zealots. Wow, very similar. They have like the same exact army right now. And +2 finished up for Creator. Taking a big fight. Warp Prism Micro will be important. The Zealots getting on top of some of the units. The Archons on the right-hand side. 3 Immortals left. Both Archon Micro for both players as well. It looks like the Concave was just a little bit better for Creator.
Oh, but MaNa messes up. He was so busy microing around with his Warp Prism, he didn't do any Warp-ins. Like, no reinforcements, so his army supply completely falls off. He's got almost 1,000 minerals in the bank. He needed those Zealots.
Units.
That's it. That's probably game. He's going to make what he can at home, but that's not going to be enough. This push should absolutely topple him.
Yeah, this is good play by Creator, holding on, sniping the Warp Prism a couple times, delaying the push, finding edges. You know, it just, like I said, that Oracle, even though versus Blink, even though it didn't seem like it gets much damage, it forces out the Stalkers. You're able to see what your opponent's tech is,
and taps out.
It's just really hard. PvP is really hard. I think it's one of the matchups where the player who maybe is not as good versus the other races or in general can win, because you can just so much craziness happens in PvP that it's really, really hard right now, in my opinion. Maybe some of the other pros would disagree with me, but you just have, you know, he opened double Oracle, you didn't open Phoenix. I don't know, there's just so much that can go on. There's so, honestly, right now in PvP, not to go too much analyzation here, but there's so many build orders. There's just so many build orders. DTs, Oracles, Phoenix, Blink, Robo, a lot of 4-gate all-ins, Phoenix 3-gate all-ins. There's just a lot of builds in PvP right now. Makes it very hard to know what's coming and how you handle things. Korea server.
So this is actually so sick. Seoul did beat Bly, so we got Snoot versus Seoul. Europe. Dude, this is Europe versus Korea is what this is going to end up being, because it's Korea versus Korea on the top half of the bracket, Solar versus Creator. Bottom side is Snoot versus Seoul. We got ZVP and TVZ. This is gonna be pretty awesome. Yeah. But we're gonna go to commercial break while we swap servers and get things sorted. Got guys, just gonna do a quick round off for the subs because love you guys so much. Sorry we've been missing a lot of these. The game's been pretty nice though, so we're a bit distracted. But Going Commando just hit the 12-month resub here with that Prime sub. Says super excited I get my Partouf. It's been an amazing and quick 12 months. So glad you guys are here for StarCraft 2. Keep up the good work. Yeah, so make sure to send us a message. Just general PSA for those who don't know. If you hit 12-month subscriber here on BaseTradeTV, you get a real life medallion, a real life Partouf. It's like our imaginary currency on the channel. We'll mail it out to you. So what I need you to do is send me a message just requesting the form. The bot verifies whether you've been actually subbed for 12 months or whether you're trying to schemaz us. If it verifies, beep boop, then I'll send you the form and we're all good. So make sure to send us a message. Not a whisper. Whispers are disabled. Send us a message directly here on Twitch and we'll get you sorted after the cast. But JD Toss comes in for 36 months to say 3 years. Hot damn! Thank you very much, JD Toss. Sergi Fishu was also a 3-month sub. And Miracles _ came back for 35, almost matching that 36 to say if we hit that bullseye, the rest of the, I'm gonna assume it's shit, will fall like a house of cards. Checkmate. Zap Brannigan. Dude, if you quote Futurama, my chat, you're a hero. Then Robo 2016 for the 13-month resub. Sortus Snox, 9 months. Printer Hands, 37, and I think that's caught up. If we missed anybody, love your faces, but like I said, we're going to break. We'll see you soon.